Hi guys, welcome to the Learning Together video. What an exciting week. We'll be back in church this coming Sunday. Been a bit stressful for some folk. Place is looking really good, sparkling like a new pin, and it's looking really clean. 6 months have not been cleaned, so there was a lot of dust. The Learning Together video, actually, if you watch the live stream, you'll see me do exactly the same thing, maybe slightly differently. But I'm also going to do the same thing here. I'm going to introduce you to one of my other friends. Now you can see Tramp, if you're in any Zoom videos, you'll see him hiding in the corner above my fridge with my Irn-Bru and Coke stash. But I've got a wee friend here. This is Al the Alpine Goat. And see, Al does something quite cool. You see, the Alpine Goat sings, and it's from The Sound of Music. Now, right, we've heard right, okay, well, we've heard, right, now we've heard you, right, there's no, are you done? Are you quite? Right, are we done now? Can we continue on to talk about Listen, as much as you're probably cuter than me, folks want to hear what I've... Right, I think folks are here to kind of listen and not to you... Listen, we're going to fall out and you're going to end up in a box. So will you... Right, I'm putting you away because you're just distracting and not letting me get on with the message. Do you know, last week we were talking about prayer, and actually quite a big thing to do with it, and we were talking about how we can turn to God in prayer. Now, there's one feature of prayer which is very, very, very important, but we don't always think about, and it is listening. And sometimes we get so busy, a bit like the Alpine Goat, that we get so busy with singing that we don't listen to God. We get so busy with all the activities. Now, I was searching for a Bible verse on this, and I found one, and then I looked at it on my phone app, and it was Proverbs 3 verse 6, and the version I looked at on my phone says, "In all your ways submit to God and he will make your path straight." And of course I looked at it and went, that's not the version I found. Something you might not know is there's lots and lots of different versions and translations of the Bible. And basically what that means is things are put into a slightly different way of wording. So for example, if you wanted to ask your mum for a biscuit, you might go up to her and you might say, "Could I please have a biscuit, mum?" Alternatively, younger sibling or older sibling might go up and go, "Hey mum, is it okay if I take a biscuit, please?" Both are very polite, but slightly different ways of wording it. And so sometimes you find that with different translations of the Bible. And there's a version of the Bible called the Message, and it translates that verse slightly differently. And it says, "Listen for God's voice in everything you do. Everywhere you go, he's the one who will keep you on track." And what that means is sometimes, actually quite a lot of the times, we need to stop and be really quite calm and quite still. and listen out for God's voice. Now that can seem a bit strange because sometimes we think about listening for God's voice and we don't hear anything. We're too busy with our own thoughts. And sometimes that's God's way of putting it in. I'll give you an example from this week in my life. I had reasons to buy some cupcakes for some people, and I only needed 2 initially, but I could only get 12. Now, thought number 1, need 2, give the 2 away, and I eat 10. So that's not actually that good an idea. So I kind of thought, well, I've got a few friends who could do with some cheering up, and I'll give them a cupcake each. And that left me with 2. And I thought, well, 2's better to eat than 10, but you know, it would probably be better to give them away. And I couldn't think of anyone else. And I prayed to God. And then someone's name came to me. And I thought, that's great, because that's actually 2 people. And I've got 2 cupcakes left. And well, the cupcakes were greatly received. Oi, we're talking about being quiet, you. So, God's way of putting thoughts in our mind. Or maybe somebody will say something to you you'd never really thought of. And sometimes that's God putting that person in your life to show something you didn't know about yourself. So the challenge for all of us in this coming week, because let's face it, things are getting pretty busy. We're back at school, so, grown-ups are back at work. I'm seeing lots more cars on the road, people rushing about, there's a lot more folk out and about. Let's take time to stop and to listen out for God's quiet voice and not be like the alpine goat with constantly singing. Oi, you went in the middle and that's enough. Right, we're going to say a prayer and you're going to practice what I just taught the folks watching at home. You're going to listen. Promise? Right, are we ready for a prayer? Let's pray to God, folks. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for keeping us safe. We give you thanks for churches reopening and coming back to worship you. Lord, help us in this week to listen to your voice, to hear what you're saying, and that the thoughts that you plant in our heads, that we can know they are from you. Hear our prayer, O God. Amen. Guys, have an absolutely great week, and do you know what, Alpine Goat? You can have one last blast on YouTube. Right, you're going too far. You're finished. Bye, folks.